I overheard my wife say, "He's too clueless to notice." She had no idea I was listening and plotting. I overheard my wife murmur, "I can sneak around as much as I want. He's too dense to catch on." I pretended I didn't hear a thing. But today, she's sobbing outside my office, realizing the consequences of my actions. It's strange how a single backyard barbecue can flip your entire life upside down. 3 weeks ago, I was flipping steaks on the grill, my biggest worry being whether I'd stocked enough drinks for the crowd. Now, I'm sitting here plotting how to unravel the web of deceit my wife wove around our marriage. Let me rewind. I'm Nathan, 35, married to Emily, 33, for 8 years. We met through a friend's introduction, and until recently, I believed we had a rock-solid relationship. No kids yet, though we'd tossed around the idea. We both grind hard at work. I manage a landscaping business, and she's in real estate, helping everyday folks find homes. That Saturday felt like any other. Emily had invited her friend Sarah over, along with a few neighbors for a casual get-together. I was tending the grill, half-tuned into the chatter, when I caught Emily and Sarah's voices near the garage. Hidden by the shed, they didn't know I could hear every word through the open window. "God, Ryan is just." Emily's voice had a spark I hadn't heard in ages. "Last night was incredible. We ditched that work event early and ended up at his place." My grip tightened on the tongs. Ryan, the new agent at the rival real estate firm. I'd met him once at a community meeting, tall, always flashing those overpriced sunglasses. Sarah chuckled. "You're playing a dangerous game, Em. What if Nathan finds out?" Emily scoffed. "Please, I can do whatever I want. He's too clueless to suspect a thing. He actually bought that I was at a property expo last weekend when I was with Ryan at that upscale hotel downtown." "What if?" Sarah started. "Nathan's oblivious," Emily cut in. "He's so caught up in his landscaping jobs, he wouldn't notice if I had 'I'm unfaithful' written across my face. He's basic. Nice, but basic. Ryan gets my drive, my ambition." The steak I was turning slipped into the flames. "I didn't flinch. Just be cautious," Sarah warned. "Guys can surprise you," Emily laughed. "Not Nathan. I've got him completely figured out." Their voices faded as they moved away. I stood there, gripping the tongs until my hands ached. 8 years, 8 damn years, and this is what she thought of me. I could have stormed over, flipped the grill, made a scene, but something shifted in my head. She thinks I'm clueless, basic. Fine, I'd use that. I served the steaks, handed Emily hers with a grin, played the perfect host, and began plotting. Over the next few weeks, I observed. She'd leave for client meetings at odd times. Her phone was always face down now. She'd changed her passwords, but she didn't know I could access our shared cloud storage. The photos she thought she'd erased, still there. The texts with Ryan she'd backed up and deleted. I had those, too. Last night she claimed another expo was happening this weekend. I smiled, kissed her goodbye, said I'd miss her, and then opened my laptop to compile everything. The deleted photos, her location history showing visits to Ryan's place, hotel receipts, text where she mocked me to her friends. My sister Clara said I should just file for divorce, but that felt too simple. Emily thinks I'm basic. She's about to find out I'm anything, but I've spent 3 weeks building an airtight case, collecting proof, and lining up the pieces. Tomorrow, it all starts to collapse. Nothing illegal, just letting the truth do the damage. Emily's about to learn that basic doesn't mean blind update tomorrow. The first piece falls at 9 a.m. Edit. Thanks for the support. To answer some questions. No, I'm not tipping off Ryan. He made his bed. I know what I'm doing. Trust me update. Thank you all for the encouragement. Things have escalated, and I've been quietly gathering more evidence while maintaining the facade of the oblivious husband Emily believes I am. The day after I overheard her with Sarah, Emily came home late, claiming a work crisis. I just nodded and said, "That's rough, babe. Want me to warm up some dinner?" She seemed almost annoyed that I didn't press her further. That's when I knew I was playing it perfectly. My sister Clara has been my anchor. When I told her what I'd learned, she wanted to confront Emily on the spot. I explained my strategy and she got it. "Just don't let this consume you," she cautioned. I promised it wouldn't. The hurt had morphed into cold resolve last week. I noticed Emily taking more secretive calls in the backyard. Our bedroom window was slightly open, and I heard her laughing with someone named Ryan, the same name from the barbecue. She was getting careless, assuming I was too dense to notice. During dinner, she started raving about a new client named Ryan, showing me his business profile on her phone. Tall, smug grin, flashy sunglasses, the works. I smiled and said, "Nice, babe. More commission for you?" She rolled her eyes when I looked away. "I've been documenting everything." Screenshots of her location data showing client meetings at hotels or restaurants. Texts popping up on her tablet, synced with her phone, including one from Sarah asking about her afternoon fling. Emily's getting arrogant, leaving evidence everywhere because she thinks I'm too lazy to check. Yesterday, things got tense when I accidentally took her car to the store instead of mine. She lost it. "Why didn't you ask me first?" she yelled. I played dumb. "Didn't you say your meetings were virtual today?" Her face flushed, and when I handed her a hotel bar receipt I found in the car, she grabbed it and stormed off, muttering about me touching her stuff, the best part. I've been quietly transferring small amounts of money to a separate account, subtle enough not to raise flags. Emily hasn't noticed. She's too busy with her thriving, real estate career to check our finances. She keeps boasting to Sarah about how she's got me fooled. This morning, I overheard another backyard call. Emily was giggling with Sarah about weekend plans. "Nathan's such a pushover. He actually believes I'm at a real estate expo." Meanwhile, Ryan's booked us the penthouse suite. They laughed like it was hilarious. Here's the kicker. I've booked a room at the same hotel. Not to confront them, I'm beyond that. It's about collecting the final proof I need. Emily thinks she's outsmarted me, but she's in for a shock. My lawyer says I'm doing everything right, documenting, staying composed, playing it smart. The look on her face when she realizes I'm not the fool she thinks, that'll be worth it. Some of you might say I should confront her now, but I'm not after instant gratification. This is about dismantling the lie she's built around our marriage. Clara checks on me daily, worried I'll slip and reveal my hand. But pretending to be clueless is easier than I expected. Every time Emily lies to my face, I hear her barbecue words, "He's too clueless to notice." It keeps me sharp. The expo is this weekend. Emily's been extra affectionate lately, probably guilty about her plans. This morning, she made my favorite pancakes, saying she wished I could join her at the expo, but it's industry only. I kissed her cheek and told her to enjoy herself. The relief in her eyes was almost pitiful. I'll update after the weekend. Things are about to get real. Edit. Thanks for the awards and messages. Yes, I'm documenting everything. No, I'm not doing anything reckless or illegal. This is about exposing the truth, not petty revenge. Yet. Edit 2, to those asking about timing, yes, I have a plan. No details yet, but it'll be worth the wait. Update 2, Reddit, the day finally arrived. Everything I've been orchestrating for months fell into place. Watching Emily's world collapse was both heartbreaking and gratifying. Some of you thought I was dragging it out, being overly cautious, but trust me, the wait paid off. It started yesterday morning. Emily was prepping for what she thought was her career's biggest day, closing deals on 3 major properties. She was buzzing around the house, talking about how this commission would change our lives. If only she knew. I watched her adjust her new designer jacket in the hall mirror, give me a quick kiss, and toss out her usual "love you, babe" with that fake smile. It was the last time she'd look at me that way. As soon as her car left the driveway, I sent 3 emails I'd drafted weeks ago. The first went to her boss, with screenshots of texts between her and Ryan about using property showings as cover for their rendezvous. The second went to her entire client list. She'd logged into her work email on our shared tablet, giving me access. The third went to Sarah, her so-called best friend, with a recording from last week where Emily bragged about flirting with Sarah's husband as a plan B. Then I waited 47 minutes later. My phone lit up. First, a text from Emily, "Why can't I access my work email?" I didn't reply. Instead, I watched the chaos unfold. Sarah went off in our neighborhood group chat, calling Emily out. Clients started canceling contracts. By noon, her boss had scheduled an urgent meeting. Around 2 p.m., Emily stormed through our front door, her jacket rumpled, mascara streaking her face. "What did you do?" she screamed, hurling her bag across the room. "My boss suspended me, my clients are bailing, even the Peterson deal is gone." I sipped my coffee unfazed. "Tough day at the office, honey." "Don't play dumb with me," she shouted, trembling. "I know you did this. How did you get those texts? Have you been snooping?" "Snooping," I chuckled. "No, Emily, you just got careless, left your phone unlocked too often. Talked too loudly at parties, trusted the wrong people." I took another sip. "Oh, and Ryan, he cracked like an egg when I confronted him last week, spilled everything about your little property tour." Face went ashen. You talked to Ryan?" "Yup, showed him the same proof I sent his wife and his boss. Guess who's also on suspension for misusing company assets?" Emily sank onto the couch, the same one where she'd texted him countless times. "You've destroyed everything," she whispered. "No, Emily, you did that yourself. I just made sure everyone saw who you really are." I stood, grabbing my packed bag from behind the couch. By the way, I've moved my money to a new account. The mortgage is due next week. Since you wanted the house in your name for your credit score, well, I shrugged. Good luck. You can't just leave, she lunged, grabbing my arm. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I pulled free. Maybe ask Sarah. Oh wait, she saw those texts about her husband. Her husband, by the way, got some enlightening screenshots. Emily crumpled to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Not the fake tears she used to manipulate me, but raw, desperate wails. Please, Nathan, we can fix this. I'll do anything. That's the thing, Emily, I said. There's nothing to fix. I walked to the door, then paused. Oh, and check your credit card statement. Some interesting hotel charges might catch your boss's eye. I left, her screams echoing behind me. My phone kept buzzing. Neighborhood gossip was in overdrive. Clara offered me her guest room, but I'd booked a hotel to clear my head. Emily's called 47 times. Her friends, former friends, are tearing her apart in texts. Her boss left a voicemail about a formal review Monday. Ryan's wife posted a public thank you to me on social media for exposing them petty. Maybe overboard? Probably. But after 8 years, after all the lies and mockery, after hearing her laugh about how clueless I was, I'd say we're square. Edit. Thanks for the support and awards. Yes, I have a lawyer. No, I'm not worried about legal trouble. Everything I shared was legal and true. And yes, I'm doing better than okay. Final update. I'm writing this from my new apartment, still processing today's events. The confrontation I'd been planning for months finally happened. And it was both more intense and more cathartic than I imagined. It started this morning, when Emily realized she couldn't access our joint account. I'd legally moved everything to a new account last week, with proof she'd used our shared funds for her dates with Ryan. Her texts began at 7 a.m. Why can't I buy anything? What did you do? I ignored them. By 10 a.m., she stormed into my workplace, tears streaking her face. Nathan, what the hell is happening? She yelled across the shop. My crew scattered. They knew what was coming. I led her to my office, shut the door, and played the barbecue recording. I can sneak around as much as I want. He's too dense to catch on. Her own voice laughing with Sarah about her hot side piece, Ryan. Her face went pale. You knew. Sit down, I said, pulling out a folder. Let's talk about how you've been using our joint account for your hotel dates with Ryan. $240 for dinner last Thursday. Classy. I can explain, she stammered. Oh, there's more, I said. Let's discuss how you've been trashing me to our friends, calling me an idiot while sneaking around with Ryan. By the way, Ryan's wife got all the evidence last night. Emily collapsed into a chair, sobbing. You'll ruin everything. No, you did that, I said, staying calm. Here's the deal, I've filed for divorce. The house is in your name, so you've got until the end of the month to move out. The joint account's empty because I've documented every cent you spent on your affair. And yes, I've told everyone we know exactly what you did. She lunged across the desk, trying to grab the folder, screaming. I stepped back, watching her unravel. You can't do this. I already did, I said. Oh, and that job reference I wrote for your promotion, I sent a follow-up retracting it with reasons. Her face collapsed as the weight of it hit her. Her life, our home, her friends, her career was crumbling. She tried pleading, promising to change, calling it a mistake. I just replayed her barbecue words in my head. Please, Nathan, we can work this out. Like you worked it out with Ryan in our bed, I said, showing her security camera stills from the bedroom I'd upgraded last year when she complained about back pain. She lost it, screaming that I'd trapped her, that I was cruel for letting her think she'd gotten away with it. Security escorted her out as she ranted about me ruining her life, the fallout still unfolding. Sarah turned on her instantly, especially after learning Emily had flirted with her ex, too. Our friend groups imploded, with secrets spilling left and right. Emily's crashing at her mom's, who called to berate me until I played the barbecue recording. She went silent fast. Ryan's marriage is done and his wife's out for vengeance. The karma's hitting hard. I won't pretend it doesn't hurt. 8 years of marriage don't vanish overnight. But every time guilt creeps in, I hear Emily laughing about how dense I was, how she could do anything because I'd never catch on. Clara called to check in. You gave her what she earned, she said. Don't feel bad. Emily's been calling from random numbers, her last text claiming I'd regret being so cold. I sent back the barbecue audio clip. Some might say I went too far, that a quiet divorce would have sufficed. But she didn't just cheat. She delighted in humiliating me, lying to our friends, playing the perfect wife while mocking me. In my book, she earned this. I'm not proud of every step, but I'm not sorry either. Sometimes, the best way to fight back is to let the truth expose someone for who they are. Emily's scrambling to find an apartment she can afford on her own, now that our joint account's gone. Turns out, banking on your husband being a clueless fool isn't the smartest plan. If this story moved you, please give it a like, share it with others, and follow for more real-life stories and heartfelt experiences. Why our support means everything, and it helps us share more stories like this. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.